You're listening to Snippets from the Summit with your host, Scot McKay.
All right, how's it going, gentlemen? This is your main man, Scot McKay, coming at you again with another Snippet from the Summit as part of the Mountaintop podcast from X&Y Communications. Hey, there's an elephant in the room out there, and we're going to talk about it today because it matters to you and your success with women. You see, years ago, everybody knew where to get men's dating advice. You went to the PUA world, and, maybe you'd have to sort out the bad information from the good, but at least you knew where to get it. Nowadays, that's a lot more convoluted. And what I've noticed is part of the confusion is, first of all, as we've noted around here before, so let's get this out of the way, a lot of what passes for dating advice out there is really men going their own way, manosphere, red-pilled stuff out there telling you to just stay away from women, which to me isn't helping you get better with women. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, the other thing that I've undoubtedly seen out there is that people are really clinging to the old pickup artist advice, which absolutely is outdated and isn't working anymore. And what happened there was guys were looking for an easy button, especially guys who were kind of wired to be left-brainers and really needed an instruction manual to approach women. So they were given lines and openers and tactics to go pick up women and meet women. Now, never mind the fact that after they had met the woman and delivered the line, they didn't know what to do next. That was always a built-in flaw to any old-school men's dating advice from about, 20 years ago. The problem was that women soon became wise to all those different openers, and even the whole process of applying an opening tactic became something that women were just rolling their eyes at. Also, along came the Me Too movement, and even a few years before that, there were several really bad incidents where someone who was related to the PUA world committed a really heinous act, even murders. So basically, anything having to do with an underground community of pickup artists had to go. But see, we haven't been given anything to replace that with. But men still want to meet women. I've noticed a bit of a resurgence very lately, certainly since COVID, of people attempting to put pickup artist-like products out there with the same kind of language and kind of some of the sleazy talk that surrounds that marketing, trying to kind of, go into the past and see if that sort of marketing can work again with a new generation. Well, it's not going to. And here's the reason why, and I think this is the linchpin to this entire snippet from the summit. Things really have changed. The entire pickup artist movement, as we've noted around here before, was kind of built around going into dark, smoky clubs. Nowadays, those dark, smoky clubs have gone the way of men's tailored suits. Around the year 2000, guys just decided, I'm not wearing this uncomfortable stuff to work anymore because everybody's gone a lot more casual. Well, nowadays, I think people have gone a lot more casual in terms of their nightlife as well. First of all, the advent of massive television screens that daylight everything has turned every venue that's associated with nightlife into basically a football stadium. It's turned into a massive sports venue. There's no way to hide from all that light. And if you live in the Sun Belt like I do, most of these venues are designed to be outdoors all year long with AstroTurf and everything. And on the surface, you would think this is fantastic for meeting women and being social. After all, most places are smoke-free nowadays, right? Smoking has become something people don't do in public spaces anymore. It's usually prohibited. And also, with more light and more opportunity, at least on the surface, to be social, you would think people would be, in fact, being more social. But see, they're not. And this is where any pickup artist mentality from the past has got to evolve. Gentlemen, the tone deafness towards the PUA world is not so much that it no longer exists in general, but we really are having a hard time admitting to what's replaced it. It isn't so much having the right line for a woman in particular anymore. It's now that you need general social confidence on behalf of the entire room when you go out and socialize to get anyone and everyone even to be social with strangers nowadays. You've got to lead not in a manner of having the cojones to go talk to a woman. It's not about approach anxiety towards one woman anymore. It's about a collective mentality in this entire culture that everybody's going out at night and huddling around the people they came with. Nobody's even talking to anybody else. No one's making the effort. Yet, time after time, during 10 plus lives, when I take guys out in field and I say, watch this, people actually are dying to be social. They just don't do it anymore. Even if guys kind of have to suspend their disbelief as they're watching it happen the first couple times, table after table full of people who came together, people who arrived together, I talk to them and I get them engaged socially, and they're really glad that I did. And I'll tell you what's the quote unquote pickup line? It basically is the equivalent of direct game. I say, hey, you know what? I wanted to come over and meet you all because I just don't think people are social enough anymore. It seems like everybody kind of hangs around with the people they arrived with, and nobody ever goes out and meets someone else. So I want to break that trend, and I want to be part of the solution instead of the problem. I have never had a bad response to that. Not once. This is the new form of pickup artistry. This is the new paradigm for going out and being social at night spots. You don't go out there trying to hit on women. You go out there opening entire groups and inviting them to be social. And then you see where the attractive women you might connect with are in those groups, and you follow the conversation from there. Now, if this sounds even more complicated and difficult than simply gathering yourself, getting over approach anxiety, and talking to a woman, it really isn't if you follow the step that I gave you and just remind people we're designed to be social when you go and talk to them again. There's nothing to reject about that. Now, if on the off chance a group of people says to you, actually, we got something we're hashing out here, and thank you for leaving us alone, it's not like you've been rejected per se. They're legitimately wanting to be left alone. But I'm telling you, 80 to 90% of the time, people are happy to be brought out of their comfort zone. And if you're respectful, if you're friendly, if you're warm and light, like I always talk about, you're going to get positive results here. And yes, you will cross that Rubicon into the new paradigm for going out and reinventing what was commonly called night game. Want to talk about this or anything else? Scot at mountaintoppodcast.com. Be good out there.
As always, visit mountaintoppodcast.com for more.